As of now, there are 4 leaders of the Coptic religion: Prophet David, Prophet Israel, Prophet Shadrach, Prophet David, and Taiwan Robinson. 4th dispensation of Black Jesus in Chicago, Illinois.
When Jesus went high on a mountain for 40 days and 40 nights, and how the devil tried to take his mind to control his body. You see, the devil did everything in his way to see if he could get Jesus to bow down. And he said, I want to see what you could do if you could turn this rock into bread. Well, Jesus told him, he said, man need more than bread to live. And then he took him high to the pinnacle. And he told him, he said, well, if you who you is, or if you say you are, jump off the mountain and see if God gonna have you. Well, it's people in your life that will do those things. They'll be talking good while you're eye to eye. They'll be saying, go ahead, Bishop, while they looking you face to face. But soon as they turn around and walk out them doors, they stand the hell with the bishop, the hell with the prophet. I don't know what they're talking about, but God said, the bishop and the prophet, the new era boys, is here to do my will. They gonna stand strong. They feet gonna be planted on solid ground. They gonna walk the way I want them to walk, and they gonna talk the way I want them to talk. All the naysayers, I'm gonna use you as a step stool. I'm gonna use you to make you out of a fool. I'm gonna use you to make you out of a lie. That's what God said, can't be without us. God said, you will do my will. Forget what man say, cause God got you wrapped up, tangled up, tied up, shook up, right up in his arms. Yes, and sometimes they won't get it clear, but it ain't for them. It's for you to understand what you gotta do. Lord have mercy. It's times like man probably said that he couldn't do it.
Hell, I need a little help. You want to quit? I give you a room. Come on, relax. Come on. Rock spirits, carrying out them lying spirits, carrying out all them demons. That's what we do. We sweep that stuff out. I don't want to take none of that stuff home. Don't sweep that around my door. I think the man said it takes 6 months to sweep around your own front door. So don't worry about what's going on in 8226 unless you paying the mortgage over there. Hell, I need a little help. You want to quit? I give you a room. Come on, relax. Come on. Rock spirits. Hell, I need a little help. You want to quit? I give you a room. Come on, relax. Come on. Rock spirits, carrying out them lying spirits, carrying out all them demons. That's what we do. We sweep that stuff out. I don't want to take none of that stuff home. Don't sweep that around my door. I think the man said it takes 6 months to sweep around your own front door. So don't worry about what's going on in 8226 unless you paying the mortgage over there. That stuff home. Don't.
I know that, but yet again, it was people in the crowd that still didn't believe.
Well.
They say, well, I know they thinking in their mind, how you gonna move this stone? Well, Lord, how is it that you gonna rise Lazarus up from the dead? And now they standing around just mingling and gossiping about what he was sent here to do. And before you know it, that stone, it began to move from the cave. And then he said, my Father, will you allow me to do your will? So he's standing there asking God.
It's a home.
I know that.
Lift up someone who has been there for me since the day I was born. She has been an amazing mother, amazing friend, and an amazing teacher.
Yes. Amen.
I will be reading from the book of John, the 15th chapter. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I do not call you servants any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing. But I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything that I have heard from my Father. You did not choose me, but I chose you. And I appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask him in my name. I am giving you these commands so that you may love one another. Amen. Amen. For this day, to lift up someone who has been there for me since the day.
Thanking I am that I am God, because we're lifting up a great woman.
For this day, to lift up someone who has been there.
Thanking I am that I am God, because we're lifting up a great woman in my life. My queen, my teacher, the canyon, Rachel. And I'll be reading from Proverbs 31, starting at the 10th verse.
Amen.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She rideth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her husband and a portion to her maidens. She considereth the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength, and strengthened her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hand to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor. She reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, For all of her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivered girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Many, many, many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth I am that I am God, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hand, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Amen.
People, this is the Royal Priest Meshach coming to you on another blessed day. I just come by to give you a word on today and something that is coming upon us that we all are observing of, and I want to share my ideas on it. And that is the solar eclipse that's going to take place on April the 8th, 2024. But first, let me give honor. Give honor to the great I am that I am God, to his son, the Christ, the Messiah, Lord, and Yeshua, Yeshua Christ, Isa, Jesus. I like to call it the Black Logic. Give honor to the Holy Spirit. Give honor to the foundation for which I stand on, the King Melchizedek, priest of the Most High God. Give honor to my universal King, King Peter, 365 degrees. Blessed is his name. Give honor to his wife, the Mississippi Queen Capanan, Queen Priscilla, Queen Shedemite, to my teacher, the Mother Ambassador Rebecca. Give honor to our great Queen Minister and teacher, the one who's standing by our side, in order than our great Candace Rachel. And give honor to you, God's chosen and anointed people. And so why am I speaking on the solar eclipse? Because as I search social media, I visit social media a lot. I stay in tune just to hear what's going on and just to see where my people is at, because we all are trying to find the answers to this thing called life. And everyone has a school of thought, everyone has a discipline, everyone follows a spiritual system. Some people are more mystic, some people are more spiritual, some follow more of an African custom, some follow the three major monotheistic religions, and some just follow their own self, and some follow nothing at all. And so there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen. Is the world going to end? You know, we've been here before. I've been here before in many times, and I always share what the great I am has shared with me. And here's what I'm going to share with everybody feeling that what's going to happen, all these events that's happening. There's always been calamity. There's always been phenomena. There's always been things that take place upon the earth. Because we as humans, we only have this lifetime to understand and experience life. We try to go back 100 years, but we were not there. We try to understand what was their mindset when things happened, and how do they receive and react towards the things that were happening. Now, some people always say it's the end time. This is it. It's finally coming to an end. And I want you to know the earth is not going nowhere. Mankind is not going nowhere. And it shall remain forever. Systems come, systems go. Now, is this eclipse a sign of a new era, a new time? You know, the planets are lining up. I've heard that many times said in songs, quoted by mystics and spiritual people, that when the planets line up, then the earth is going to go through a shift, and mankind is going to be raised to a new level of understanding, and all these things are going to happen. But let me tell you what's going to happen after the eclipse. Actually, nothing. What's going to happen is those who are aware and conscious are going to make a change based upon self-realization. Change only comes from within. Yes, we are connected to a broader universe, and the universe is within us, as well as it's omnipresent and is everywhere, because we are connected. We are solar beings. Our inner spirit is connected. Our physical is connected to the earth. Our inner spirits and consciousness created to the universal conscious that we call the creator, or we say the great I am. what the eclipse is showing humanity, this is the real sign that the eclipse is showing us. That goes to show that you're not in control. That whatever you say create us, whatever God, whatever belief, whatever system you believe in, whatever you think is happening, some people are gonna be in prayer, some people are gonna be making sacrifices, some people are gonna be doing all sorts of things around this eclipse. But we have eclipse all year. We don't know it because it's in different parts of the world, but because we experience it in North America or this part of the world we're in, we somehow think the planets are not doing a different thing, and we need to get ourselves together. We always need to get ourselves together because we are involving people. We are coming into different awareness and consciousness about everything that we've learned. But what I want us to say is that the transformation that the world needs to make starts with us. By the sun being blocked out for a short period of time, that's just a sign to let you know that there's a greater force, there's a greater power that's in control. That's all that's going to bring everybody to the attention. Something greater than us can blot out the sun. And we have not that ability. I mean, people say there can be nuclear wars and there can be things that man can do that can blot out the clouds and make the sky cloudy. But at the end of the day, the world is created for us, and that they created us know how to maintain and keep this universe in order. So all I want to say today is whatever you may believe is going to happen. I remember this, and I'm going to close. I remember when the year 2000 came in, and everybody was saying this was going to happen, was the end of the world. People was on the TV prophesied, doing charts and quoting scriptures and showing you how it all makes sense, doing the mathematical equation. And I told the members at Coptic Nation Temple, I said, the only thing going to happen when 2000 hit, either you're going to be at home after celebrating New Year's Eve or you have to go to work. The world is going to remain. So here's what I want to say about this eclipse. It's just showing us that there's a power greater than us. And when we realize that we ourselves are not alone, and that there's a force greater than us that's controlling everything. Because see, man is not pushing a button and making the eclipse. Man is not sending a device out there to block out the sun. So it just lets us know. So what I want you to walk away from, whatever you believe is happening, whatever spiritual alignment you're making, whatever spiritual ritual you're going to practice around that eclipse, that's fine. If that's what you were taught to do. But I was taught to make the wisdom plain, make it so simple. And the simplicity of it is this. The great I am that I call the creator, and many of you all have many names y'all call the creator, it's just showing us that our creator is sovereign, has all power, and has the ability to do whenever it desires to do what we can't do. And that's what I'm going to recognize tomorrow. And after that eclipse, we're going to get back to business as usual, continue to build, continue to heal, continue to teach, continue to become one with the great I am that I'm God, continue to transform my life and become a better version. So you all stay strong, and as y'all go forth, stay strong. May God bless you and have a smile upon you. God's people, I'm the Royal Priest Meshach coming to you on another blessed day. And I'm honored to have a word for you on today. And the word is, I create all things new. In this great season, our New Heaven Passover season that we're celebrating in the month of October, we realize through the great words of our great prophet, he brings to us the ideal and the principles of a new heaven and a new earth. And many of us believe that the new heaven and new earth will only become manifested or happen at the end of the age or the end of a system, which it is true. It is the end of an age and it's the end of a system, or some even believe the end of the world. But I want you to know that end of the world or the end of a system is when all things come to an end and something new is created. I want to give you a word today, and this is my message for you, that you have to understand that we have a great word in I am that I am God. I am that I am God has sent us into the world to tell mankind that you can make all things new through the power of the one that sits upon the throne. In the book of Revelations, the 21st chapter and the 5th verse, it speaks of the one who sits upon the throne that will make all things new. And his word is true as well as faithful. And today, I am that I am God has charged us to go and transform first ourselves. When we transform ourselves and realize that we have the gift of God that dwells in us to make all things new. I want you to know, God's people, you have the ability to transform this world. Most of all, transform oneself. Transformation is not always easy, but it is a necessity for us to walk into the oneness and the spirituality of our Creator. It is a charge that we must take upon ourselves. Now, the neighbor next to you and those who you love and those that you may desire to see transform may not transform with you. But if you start with self and come into the awareness of the I am God that dwells in you, you can see a great change. So what does it mean to create all things new? Well, many times I often say, people, the world is not going nowhere. No, the world's not going nowhere. If anything, you and I are going somewhere, but the world is often changing. Some say for the worse, and people feel that way today because of the political climate, the environment, and the so-called, well, I'm not going to say so-called, but the global warming, all the things, all the diverse things we may hear. Let me say it that way. All the diverse things you may hear. But we want you to understand we serve a God. Our God is faithful and our God is true. And our God has never forsaken us nor even left us alone. Why? Because the great I am that I am God is life eternal. And as long as there's people, there's always a chance for us to make a difference. So I want you to understand, what can you do and what are you doing to create something new? Well, we have to first start with the reality that we are in. Look at your life and ask yourself, how's my life going? Do you like the outcome of where things are going? You have to take responsibility. The great I am that I am God sent his son, the Messiah, to teach us the way back to the Father. And where is the Father? In you and I. And if we understand that the Father will help us along the journey, we are more blessed than we can imagine. In this new heaven Passover season, what I love about it is that because we often reflect, our old heaven Passover is two dynamics. The Passover we just celebrated in July, and you said, man, y'all back again with another Passover? Well, we call this the new heaven. We call the Passover in July the old heaven. Now, it's not that it just is old by nature, but it just means that the Passover that we celebrate in the first is about us coming out of, right? It's about a deliverance. It's about God remembering the people and bringing them out and taking them into a place. The new heaven Passover for you and I is about us coming into a place we can call our own. See, one is coming out of and one is entering into. Now, as we enter into the new heaven, we are promised how the land should look. The land should prosper. The land should be in abundance. The land should have everything we need. See, the new heaven and new earth, we have to realize everything is made new. Now, newness does not always represent the fact that we say we're going to see a new earth. But what newness means is new life and new regeneration.
Remember Me Productions by Prince Taiwan Robinson of New Heaven Coptic Temple. Established in the fall of 2005,